Alrighty folks, one last video for the week. Whoops. Come on. Turn, little phone. There we go. Pattern-collections.com is where you want to go. You're going to scroll down to Pattern Focus to find today's pattern. And we're going to do Melted. Oh, well that's appropriate for my neck of the woods this last week. We had one morning that was pleasant and now it's hot again. So yeah, Melted is good. Okay, so I'm going to click on it so it gets a little bigger so I can zoomy in here. It appears that it's a ribbon-like tangle. We're going to draw parallel lines. I suppose you could do them with or without the actual line, but we're going to do it with the line. And then you're going to do sort of a up and down and up and down, sort of a loose kind of two-lumped thing. And then you're going to come over here and you're going to kind of aura that. And then do it again here. And then aura it, right? And just keep doing that. And then we're going to aura it on the inside. Cool. And then just right here, we're going to color that part in so that it looks like that. So it's got drippy bits. I think I'm going to, I like how this is really wide here and how it's, see, it's got the drippy bit that goes way up in like that. I think I'm going to encourage my tile to be a little wider, not quite so patterny, ribbony, but more organic. And we'll see what happens. I like this tile though. It's got some interest in it. Turn on my light. Oh, I have to put my hand here so it's not quite so bright when it flashes. There we go. The string is string number 49, which I did on this tile, but I did it this way. Yeah, like that. Okay, string number 49 is like that. I'm a little off. I put this in the wrong area. It needs to be closer to this side. But I think I'm gonna be kind of loosey-goosey with my parallel lines here. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a border. I had my pencil border in here and I wasn't sure I was going to use it, but that's because I hadn't looked at the pattern yet when I drew my border. I'm going to kind of go like this, maybe like that on the string. I'm not going to go completely curvy like that. There we go. And I think I'm gonna put it like here. I'm gonna do it like that as my string guide thingy. And then I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna do this one the way it shows to start with. And I'll go ahead and do one going that way. I'm going to go like that. I'll turn it around this way. And I'm going to go like that. Now I'm just going to make these melty bits kind of come and go. Come up here. And I'm going to follow that. And I'm going to come down like this. And I'm going to follow that like that. And here I'm going to do the same thing, but I'll just aura it. Like so. There we go. I'm going to do it like that. And then this would be the piece that you fill in with the dark, and I think I'm going to do that now, and then I'll come back and aura. Why not? Right? That way, if it's not the shape I like it, I can change it before I get my auras in there. I want to make it a little more drippy. I can add a little extra droop. Which I just may do. Okay, perfect. I think maybe a little bit more of a swoop there. Can you see? I hope you guys can see. I think I'm getting better at that, but you know, it's only been a year. Okay, something like that. And then down here, like so. Color that in. And then I'm just going to come back in and do the auras. You'll notice I switched over to my fatter pen to do my coloring in. I just find that to be easier. You don't have to do that. If the only pen you have is the one size, then that's the size you need to use. Don't go out and buy extra supplies just because. If you happen to have them, use them. If you don't happen to have them, you know, use what you got. You'll know if you've watched for a while, I don't buy the expensive Zentangle tiles. I use plain old, see, look how thin that is. That's not a Zentangle tile. I use paper cut that I cut out of a sketchbook. I just found a sketchbook that I liked the feel and the weight of the paper. Could have found one that's a little bit heavier, but this is what I had. So this is what I used, and when this one's gone, I will go to the store and I will perhaps choose a different kind of paper. But, you know, this is just whatever was in that sketchbook that I happen to have. About 2 years ago, I was ordering online some art supplies, and their sketchbooks were on sale. Buy one, get two free. How can you pass that up, right? And so even though I hadn't actually touched them and knew what they were like, I knew what pound paper they are. I think they're a 96 pound or something like that. Anyhow, usually I would like to want to touch and feel it, but they were so cheap that day that, you know, I needed an extra, I don't know, probably $8 or $10 to fill my cart so that I could get free shipping, and these were on sale, and so that's what I bought. And it's been perfectly good, wonderful little paper. I just take them, rip them right out of the sketchbook, throw them in my guillotine paper cutter, and I just, you know, cut. Let's start this side. And I'm just going to follow this curve and make an aura like that. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I have filled the space, which won't take much. Just like that. Easy peasy, right? So what I'm saying is it's delightful to have super good art supplies, but if that's not in your budget or that's not what you have on hand, doesn't mean you can't do your art. Just use what you got. It's all good. Now I do like using a pen that has archival ink. To me, that's the most important, is that it says archival ink, just so that it doesn't disappear on you over time. I was really disappointed at the beginning of my journey. I was using these pens, but I was also mixing the fine point Sharpies with what I was doing in order to get the fatter tip, instead of a pen that said archival quality. Prismacolor Premier's right on the thing, archival quality. I wasn't using archival quality. I was just using plain old Sharpie because that's what I had. And that's fine, you know, use what you've got. But at the same time, I was really disappointed when I found that the gifts I had made for Christmas, some of my family members had them framed and had them out as art in their home. And I went to visit and discovered that some of the ink was still black, like it should be. The ones that I had used the archival quality pen for. But the Sharpie, oh my gosh, it was so sad. The Sharpie had turned brown. So then there was this sort of black and brown artwork, which I guess if I had intended to have a sepia toned work would have been fine. But I was just so disappointed that all my hard work I spent, each drawing, especially the bigger ones, because these were full 8x10 size drawings. So I can get 2, 4, 6. I get 6 of these squares tiles in one 8x10 plus a little extra around the edge. So most of my tiles take what, half hour to draw one of these. And so that was like 3 hours or more of work to draw a full-on 8x10 drawing for a gift, and then to find that it had gone all brown. It was really disheartening, which is one of the reasons why I started checking the archival quality of my pens, and I actually did that pen test that I'm still working on. I've got that Canvas Light Fast pen test. It's in my, if you search for my videos, you can find where I've got this test that I tried all these different pens on a canvas. First to see how well that pen worked on a canvas, and I found that some of my favorite pens for paper do not work well at all on a canvas. They're just the canvas has too much texture. But I also am testing the light fastness, and in real world applications where I just stuck it out there and put the canvas in the dashboard of my car, and it's been sitting there for good on 9 months, I think now. I will follow up again when it hits 1 year, I think. But about 6 months in, I pulled them out and showed you guys how the different inks were faring, and some of them were not faring well at all. And to me, that's more important than the dollar amount of the pen, is whether or not the ink inside will fare well. I have a little spot right here that I'm not happy with. You see that, where it's kind of coming out there? So I'm going to do something to here to make it feel... I like this melty bit here, but I'm wondering if I want to... I need something in the background, and it needs to... I don't want circles. What do I want there? Trying to think of a tangle that would look good with this. I mean, all of them will look good. You can pretty much pick anything, but there's a feel that I'm kind of going for here. I'm wondering if I want to just... doing that. Make that line follow that one, and this line would, okay, you wouldn't see that. Okay, that's the only one that actually goes through there. Maybe I'll put one here that goes through this way, that you would actually follow with your eye, so that it looks like it's behind, and then I can do the rest up here. That doesn't make any difference. This one you would follow with your eye too. Yep. And that one, would you follow that one? Maybe a little bit. Okay, is that enough? Yeah, I think that's enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to do what I guess it's called N-Zeppel, the letter N with a apostrophe, and then Z-E-P-P-E-L or L-E. Not sure. But basically you take your shapes that you've divided into triangles or squares or whatever these are, random shapes, and you just then follow along the edge like this. Oh, wrong way. See, you just start here and you kind of just round the corners, follow along the edge, like that. And it makes sort of like a pebble, like a cobblestone look. like that. And you just follow along whatever edge you ended up with. And just round the corners. If you do the divisions in a more orderly, regular kind of way, you have a more orderly, regular sort of cobblestone-y look. If you do it like I did, which is random, then you have a more random look. Both of them I like. I've used before. And it makes a fun background. See? And then you zoom back up. Perfect. That is just what I needed for the background of this. Okay, let's see. So this is the last drawing of the week. Hope you guys have had a good week. Gone out and tried to be a light keeper in this world, right? You know, I've done my best. I may not always do the best job ever, but I've done my best. Sometimes it can be disheartening. You know, you do your best, especially like I work in customer service, right? And I do my best to be kind and considerate to everyone. And then sometimes, you know, no matter what you do, you can't make some people happy. They're just miserable people. And that's just sad. I want this to go in the background, but I don't want to fill that in dark. So I think what I'm going to do is right in these spots, I'm going to add a couple of dots like that. Let me go this way. See how that one is like this, and then I added dots to it. Not very many, they're just tiny little dots. So it doesn't fill in the whole thing. It just gives like an illusion of like filled in. You kind of lose the crisscross part of that by just filling in one or two dots, just like that. Nothing difficult. Now could I fast forward this, what I'm drawing, absolutely I could. Well, if I knew how to do it in software, I could. But I don't spend the time to edit. I, on purpose, make it whatever speed that you would actually be drawing it at. Because, you know, you need to know how much work and effort it is. If it takes 20 minutes to draw it, then it takes 20 minutes to draw it. If it takes an hour, it takes an hour. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not covering it up by fast forwarding and making it look simpler than it is. But I'm also showing that it's not difficult either. It can be time consuming. That's absolutely true. It can be time consuming, but it's not difficult. All I'm doing is going dot, 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 dot. Right? Putting a few dots. Trying to keep it from disappearing off the side of the screen. That's the hard part, because, you know, I've got you way zoomed in, which I normally wouldn't do, but I'm doing this for a reason. I want you to see that it's not hard. And I'm just filling the spot with a little bit of dots. And then when I zoom out, you can see what I'm trying to accomplish here with this. Because the dots, what they're doing is they're creating like a grayscale for your eye. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to zoom back out and you guys can see what I'm talking about. See how it made like a grayscale? It's not dark like this. It's just kind of gray, but it pushes it to the background so that these are standing on top. I really like that. All right, so let's find, it's called Melted, right? That was what it was called. Why my phone does that sometimes. Goes off of the page where I was last. And let's decide which direction I want it to live. Do I want it to live like a road like that? That's okay. I think I like it that way. Melted on string number 49, and then I can do a little bit of shading. I want this ribbon thing to be on top, which means I need to shade it here. And I'm going to put a little bit more shadows here than anywhere else. It's darker on the bottom and lighter on the top. This is going to have just a little bit. Still needs some, but it's not going to have as much as on the bottom. That will imply that the light's coming from the top of the page. And then these little things, I want them to look kind of like rocks or stones, so I'm going to put shading at the bottom edge, what I see as the bottom edge of each of these. Okay. And then we'll blend that out. You know, it's weird. I was watching other people on YouTube, and they end up saying, you know, we will do this, and we will, you know, we'll blend that out. We'll do, and I find myself doing the same thing, even though I thought, you know, that's silly. I'm going to blend it out. We aren't doing anything, unless you happen to be drawing along with me. But I don't assume that. But you end up talking like that, which is weird. At least to me, I think it's weird. I want a nice big shadow right there. And then some little bits. The edge of each of these little pebble things, which makes them seem round. Like a cobblestone. Or something. And a little bit on this side. Not as much as on the other side. And then like that. Beauteous. Does it need shading in here? I almost feel like it needs a little bit right in the middle of the melties. Just a tad. I'm going to use the bigger one and just make it just soft. If I decide I don't like it, I can always erase it. Like that. Just a smudge. All right, there we go. That is the last one for the week. I hope you guys are having a good day. I really do. I wish the best for you. You know, I think about you guys, especially the ones who message me and leave me comments and messages. You guys, you know, you are in my prayers, especially if you've asked specifically for prayer. You are definitely in my prayers. You guys know who you are. Yeah, I think about you guys. You've become like friends, even though I don't know who you are. Really. But I'm assuming you're being honest and truthful when you're telling me your stories. And yeah, I have a soft heart, and I bring those cares and concerns into my prayers. So I hope you guys are doing good. If you need anything from me, just message me. Hit me up on YouTube or go over to my page at Draw Tangles with Dawn on Facebook. And I will see you there. Bye-bye.